It gives me great pleasure and a sense of pride to welcome you here this morning for this, the first collaborative effort between the Youth Development Program and Supreme Counseling for Personal Development. It comes at a time when the world is saddened by the happenings in Haiti, at a time when we all must give thanks to God for our many, many blessings. But it also comes at a time, ladies and gentlemen, when Barbados is faced with immense challenges. Challenges as it relates to our youth, challenges as it relates to our community, and to our nation at whole. We are faced in Barbados, ladies and gentlemen, with our trauma. A trauma of social ills, child abuse and immorality, delinquents amongst our young people, misconduct in our schools, violence and vandalism in our communities. This trauma, my friends, is one that needs the urgent attention when all hands must be on deck, where all with the leadership potential and ability must be equipped with the knowledge and skills to stabilize our ground and get us back on a solid foundation. This rescue effort must begin now, and it must involve the church, the school, government, youth and adults, all fighting for one positive and common cause. Be motivated to join the army of Rescue Barbados 2010 and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your day. May God bless you. I oblige to you.
I am honored to have been invited to address you here this morning at what is a very special youth conference seeking to build the capacity of youth leaders. And I'm of the view that if our youth leaders are going to confront the many challenges that affect them today and make full use of all the opportunities that are available to them, they will need to be trained. The theme for this conference today is Community Leadership in the 21st Century. And that is interesting given the development of youth work in Barbados. Many of you are too young to know this, but the social and physical structure of our communities have undergone significant change in the past generation. But what we realize at a policy level is that the approaches and strategies to youth development, especially at the community level, will have to change. There must be a growing national movement to infuse young people into the decision-making roles in communities and organizations, and that's what you are here about today. And to have young people involved in decision-making not only develops them, but the adults and institutions in which they're involved will also stand to benefit. Involving the youth brings energy, it brings fresh out-of-the-box perspectives and knowledge of the needs of young people, as well as a sense of community to the decision-making processes, and that can only enhance the moral and social fiber of our country. I'm pleased to announce that this administration is committed to youth involvement at all levels. We put our young people on committees and boards and so on. I pray that you will leave inspired and motivated to change yourselves and to change your community and ultimately your nation and the world, because I believe that you are not just our future, you are very much our present.
The thoughts that I will share with you today come from my own experiences as a member of this society, as a judicial officer, as a former practitioner of law, and as a former tutor at the Barbados Community College. Leadership is a process by which a person influences others to accomplish an objective and directs the organization in a way that makes it more cohesive and coherent. Although a person's position as a manager or supervisor may give them the authority to accomplish certain tasks and objectives in the organization, this power does not make you a leader. It simply makes you the boss. Leadership differs in that it makes the followers want to achieve high goals rather than simply bossing people around. Leadership is recognizing that there's a you, but you fit into the picture. and that you have to fit into the picture with others. Because whatever skills you possess must be spread across a broad range. No one person necessarily possesses all of the skills which are necessary to take any organization forward. The student of today is the future leader of tomorrow. The children of today are tomorrow's prime ministers, ministers of government, doctors, lawyers, teachers, carpenters, masons, agricultural workers, amongst other callings or professions. There are some people who share the view that some persons are born to lead. That is, that they are endowed from birth with special characteristics which make them leaders. No matter what the circumstances of your birth, no matter what your parents did for a living or do for a living, or your grandparents, or where you come from, you can be a leader. Do not allow persons by rhetoric and nice concepts to make you feel that you are lesser than anybody else. We become what we are by what we learn, either formally or informally, whether that is in the formal structure of the school or the church or the family. Ethics build character, learning develops or shapes knowledge and skills. So you as young people, I ask you to take advantage of the educational opportunities which have been made available by the state. For a lot of people, being a natural leader, as people would say, is not so natural. It has to do with your personality. Some people are self-retreating. They almost shy away from others. They're shy personalities, but that doesn't mean they're foolish. A lot of shy people are so strong you won't believe it. You just have to find them in a situation. This thing nowadays called peer pressure. It can be good or it can be bad. If you have friends who have positive outlooks on life, then you can learn from them. But if you have friends who are negative, who have no vision for the future, unless you can influence them, they can only create problems for you in terms of where you're going to be heading in life. Young leaders must have opportunities that not only build upon personal abilities, but also provide a safe environment for trying new things. So the leader, therefore, whether traditional or non-traditional or charismatic, must determine from as early as possible what would you like to become in adulthood. What educational or vocational path will you choose? And therefore not waste educational resources. Tomorrow's leader must be aware of the dangers which will prevent him or her from succeeding in life. Realize that we all need each other. We can't do it alone. There must be mutual interdependence. We must rely on each other, extract the best, and reject the bad. I want to remind you finally of this, that when you're talking about charting a path, a chart is a map. A path is a way of getting from one place to the other. Others would have assisted you along the way, whether it be your parents, your guardians, teachers, families, or friends. Don't close the path. Leave that path open so that others can follow.
Who or what was your role model or inspiration that led you into leadership?
In terms of my experiences in school, all the schools I went to, almost every teacher that I had an impact on me. They had a profound influence on me. Not necessarily that they were preparing me for the job that I'm in, but preparing me for the world of work and the world of responsibility. They set an example. Those people had a hand in making me who I am. So when I became a teacher, I remember the way those people taught. At University of Liverpool. Simplify it. Every student can learn. Those were the words of my teachers. And I took the same thing to heart. I don't believe they got ignorant students. You have to reach them. You have to reach them. Those are my role models. My father, my mother was always a tower spirit, but my father insisted. He joined us in the library. He went to every PTA. And my parents were separated.
So today we're risk taking. We are risk takers. So I need everybody in here to identify where they are on this movement towards the stars. Are you down here?
Hello?
You're here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is where Nicole is. Next person.
Ronaldo.
Where are you today?
Hello, boss.
All right, so you're here. So Ronaldo is here. Next person.
In the stars.
Excuse me. Hello. Are you sure you want to take the risk taker all the way up there?
All the way up.
Okay, good. Excellent. So he is by the stars, our first star.
Mo's above Ronaldo.
And little about the average.
So I step here, I leave that behind, I don't look back. I step here, leave it behind, and I don't look back. And I step here, and I keep stepping, and I use stepping stones to get me on my path to where I'm going. The thing about a building block is that they work together. They are units that build up a team. When you put things together in a team, it's stronger, and your imagination, it's limitless. You know, how high, how wide, how tall you can go. The new form of leadership is team leadership. So what it is that you get together with other people who have the same skills, talents, passions, abilities that you do, and maybe even competencies. You get together with these people who have like minds and visions, have the same vision and passion as you do, and you lead as a group of team leaders. So even though you are a team of leaders, you still have to have one person who is the captain, who can direct and who has the vision. And then the most important thing, I think, in team leading is vision. If you don't have vision, then you have nothing to motivate the group. You have nothing to push you forward and say, collectively or as a group, this is where we're going. And I think a really important ingredient in the team leading is passion. And I say passion is important because if you do not have passion for what you're doing, if you're just going through the ropes and it's just routine, then forget it. If you're not giving it your all. You're going to do an ad for shampoo. Your vision. What you're passionate about. And why you are a good group of team leaders. They're very good judges.
Do you want silky, soft, healthy-looking hair? Then you have to use Centry shampoo to get your groove back on. New Centry shampoo, day, morning, or evening. It will bring the shine right back on to your hair. Thank you for using Centry shampoo. Our vision from the very start was to take into consideration everybody's ideas and opinions as relevant and valuable regardless of race, color, or class.
What was your passion?
To bring about total unity in our group by valuing everybody's opinions and to build self-confidence in all individuals.
I think we're a good team of leaders because we all have different backgrounds, come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
They have the quiet ones, the more outspoken ones, but when we come and sit down and we discuss, we have that know that everybody has the same common interests.
I thought it was a pretty good group to have a lot of participation, which is
a strength.
For me, she was more the captain than he was.
Everybody was, yes, focused and interested in it.
Yeah.
Man, are you tired of dry, white scalp, hard hair after washing your hair with soap, squeezing soap powder? Here is your answer. Blue Man, tested in our labs in Germany. 3 stars by our embassy in America. Change, make the change. Try Blue Man.
Our vision is to be the leading supplier of men's shampoo in the world.
Okay, what was your passion?
To make men feel comfortable using shampoo and not losing their masculinity.
Are you good team leaders?
We're a good team leaders because we listen to each other. And even though we're working, we have fun while we're doing it. And we respect everybody's opinion.
They had encouragement for sure. And there was not someone overpowering the captains.
Right.
And there was serious goal setting. Everything was just structured.
In the beginning though, there wasn't that was participation from the other fellow because he wasn't talking much, but then the drag him in afterwards, after their while, so he was then able to participate.
All right, nice team too.
Do you still have hard braiding on growing hair? Are you tired of brushing off the hair off your shirt sleeves every minute? Well, we have a product for you. It shines, conditions, and rejuvenates your hair. It's the new blue with a spot of white.
Strength was that they had to make a shampoo, but I found that they included people who were in poverty, so that was one of their goals, which I thought was pretty good.
To me, the same thing with the captain. She didn't really participate in anything, but when she got to read and she did participate, so you can't say that she didn't do nothing about it.
Okay.
The creativity, like it, the working together. Yeah. There was a little bit, I saw not all participating at sometimes, but it still came together in the end.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And your reward is lunch.
So we talked a bit about avoiding common pitfalls as you climb the leadership ladder. Now I can only speak based on what I have experienced. There's one thing that is common to all leaders. 2 things. 1, leadership is unique. And you know the second thing? There's always got problems. Wherever there are people, there are personalities. And wherever there are personalities will crash. And that is normal. Alright? So, every leader will face problems. Now, let me show my definition of pitfall. A pitfall is a mismanaged problem, basically. That makes sense? Just think about it. 3 things that I recognize that will help me not to fall in these pitfalls. And this is the first thing that I learned. And I mean, it is so profound. And is this all it is? I am me. Now recently I developed another philosophy. It's got all of them guys live by. If you become common, you lose your influence. Just think about it. Name one great Asian. Rihanna great. Well, she hasn't recently become great. No! What's the difference? Let's watch the difference. Name one great American.
Barack Obama.
You know you can find at least 10 in 10 minutes. No. You know what they have done? Most great people that you know have done one thing. They have spoken to the world through their talents. That's it. Nothing else. To prove it to you. Well, you know Michael Jordan for? No, make it simple. Showing the ball in the hole. But he has spoken to the world through that talent. We know Tiger was for. cheeks on way. Hitting the ball in a hole. What do you know Bill Gates for? And you know all of these people that have made it and been influential in the world did what was not common at that time. This is a racing car and this is a normal car. What we call a family car. On the average car that is made to come to Barbados, I'll be buying in Barbados. Speedometer, this go up between 180 kilometers per hour and 210 kilometers per hour. So therefore, the car has a potential to go how fast? 210 kilometers per hour. Now, if you know that the car can't drive more than 80 in Barbados, why not ask the companies to make a car that is max out at 80? You can't break the law. And then too, you will not be robbing the car of fulfilling its greatest potential. Now, let me look at this. This is a what? A race car. Anybody can tell me how fast the maximum potential on this is? You know what? I would say it's infinite. You know why? Because every race car is different, depending on the traffic goes on. But every race car will get an opportunity to fulfill its greatest potential. What does this have that the race car don't got? A speed limit, a limit. Do not create for yourself self-imposed limitations. Your perceptions normally become your realities. But try not to let your perceptions be your realities. And I can show you something that many of you may not have ever thought of. Learn to see beyond. And always look to see what it is that God's showing you in everything you do. You ever realize that an elephant just gets tied to a little stick? And don't move? You ever wonder why the elephant don't just pull its tail? When the elephant was small, they used to tie it to a bigger stick. And as it got bigger, the elephant, because the perception became its reality, that it can pull it up. All they used to keep tying it to a small stick. So what happened? The owners created a limitation for the elephant, and it never got to fulfill its greatest potential. That's another pitfall for we as leaders. Not getting to fulfill your potential because of things that happened in the past or things that people say you can't do. So the first one was I am me, which is if you become common, you lose your influence. The second one was do not create self-imposed limitations on yourself. This one is called let go and let God. Here's a pencil. I want you to hold the pencil at the back, right? And I want you to write I am me. This is your what? Your life. You know what the back of this represents? This is your past. This is you. If you continue to live in the past, how do you sketch it up? Shadow. I want you now to hold the pencil, covering tip. The front of this is God. You ready? Part of God is that? You like? What part of God is you like? The front. If we take control in that, we want to live your life without God. What has happened to you, people? Nothing. Now I want you to find for me the perfect place for you and write I am me. Everybody finish? Yeah. I want to ask a question. How it look? It look real beautiful. It look like something that somebody would want to read. Right? And you realize that is where you are. So you know what happened? You have moved away from your past, moved a little closer to God, not taking him over, and it has become legible. But see these three things? Just remember them. If you become common, you lose your influence. You know, got some people that were not going over in their life because they can't see past it. You don't know where you can come. But let me show you how simple that is. You know, you could be in a dark car road. And when you turn on your light is only show you how far, so far. If you want to see further ways, do drive forward. And the light you can look further. And that's all I did. Do not create self-imposed limitations for yourself. Who's the last one? Let go and let
conflict is a part of relationships, and conflict, just as a dictionary expression, means disagreement, opposition, and so on, okay? However, I'm here to tell you this evening that there can be positive outcomes. Not every quarrel, not every disagreement, not every fight needs to end up on the rocks and split the two people up. I'm going to share 4 key ways of handling conflict resolution. 4 key areas, okay? Successful conflict resolution. Number 1, manage stress with calm, while being calm and alert. Okay, so when you're talking about conflict resolution, you're thinking about taking into consideration what is important to somebody. And part of this means that you must recognize your stress levels. Recognize your stress levels. When you're coming to problem solving, when you're coming to making peace, when you're coming to bring people together and so on, you need to recognize your situation, your stress level. Depending on what you find about yourself, you know then therefore that you need 1 to speed up if you're depressed. Number 2, you need to slow down if you're agitated, and you need to get unstuck if you are anxious. Okay? Now, write this quickly, write this quickly, write this quickly. R is for relaxation in dealing with conflict resolution. There are times you have to take breaks. Then E is for what, everybody? Come on, everybody. E is for what? Exercise. Say it again, everybody. Exercise. E is for exercise. E is for exercise. And this one is going to hit you sky high. It is the most important word in the world for all of us, young and old. Principle number 2, recognize and manage your emotions. Number 3, improve your nonverbal, this is dynamite, communication skills. Sometimes nonverbal communication helps you to pick up something that is being repeated. Repetition. What is that little word, everybody? Repetition. Sometimes you will also get contradictions. Number 4, use humor and play as part of your arsenals, your skills for conflict resolution. Number 1, it helps you to connect. Humor helps you to connect. Humor helps you to connect. Sometimes it smooths over differences. Smooths them over. Okay? Now, let me conclude with the ground rules because it's important to hear this. Number 1, make relationships your priority. Make relationships your what, everybody? Focus on the present. Choose the battles that you know you can win. Be willing to forgive. And I want all of you now to forgive anybody in your life that you've been carrying around on your mind and it's almost killing you. Let that person go. Forgive them. And the ground rules, finally, express feeling in words, not in actions. Express feeling. You got that, everybody? Number 2, be specific. Be specific. This one is going to get a lot of us in trouble. 1 issue at a time. 1 issue at a time. Don't hit below the belt. This one is a good one to hit the road. Don't hit below the belt.
The reason why we're having this workshop because we see all of you, all your people in Barbados, as having the ability to lead at your community level, to lead in your schools, to lead in your churches, to lead wherever you are involved in activities, and we see you as playing an important role. So we're going to say to you, not only listen to what the panelists have to say, but give us your views.
young people must be involved at all aspects of community life. They must be involved at the highest decision-making processes that happen within the communities in order for the communities to survive, to progress. We must learn to give young people the opportunity to do what they can do best. There is a role that each and every one of them, that each and every one of you, and I dare to say that each and every one of us can play with the development of our communities. Without a vision, the land perishes. Without the involvement of young people, there is stagnation.
When confronted with a problem, research the problem and think about the information, then make your decision to solve it. Now, in every walk of life, problem solving begins with asking questions and getting information about the situation. Only when you fully understand the problem, you can figure out the best way to solve it. Now, the problem solving model I have learned in my life is to 1. Identify the problem, determine the solution for the problem, make an action plan, take action, and follow up. Now, you need to remember, you need to have a vision for yourself and for your community. You need to be honest, and let me tell you, you need to be honest and have integrity, accountability, and transparency within your community. And you need to have good communication stories.
There is no denying, none whatsoever, that young people are one of the most valuable resources there are to a country. And that as such, young people should always be partners whenever there's a community project or program that is going to be implemented in any community. With the participation of the young people in any community project or program, you will be able to see young and new leaders emerging. You won't see that the same persons that were the leaders 10 years ago is still the new leaders with the same old ideas. Young people bring new and fresh ideas to community development, and hence, like I said, you'll get new leaders emerging within the community from the young people. In order to do that also, you need to guide them to help build the communities as well. So we need to give them resources to be the good leaders that we know they can be, and don't always see young people as those at risk. Because out of some of these same at risk labels that we put on young people are leaders. They just need to be guided into the areas where they feel comfortable, where they can really put their talents to use.